Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Gabe, and welcome to LifeMission Church. It is so good to be with you. And if you are with us for the very first time, what is up? Hey, we have a great experience for you, and hopefully you've enjoyed what you've already been a part of, and we're not done yet. And for those of you joining us online, we are so thankful that you're able to be with us. Make sure that you also look on the website and you see all the other resources and things that we have, because we want to make sure that you're well prepared and equipped and you have everything. It's kind of like going to school. You know, like we started school lately, and you had your school supply list. You had to make sure that you had crayons and pencils, and you brought napkins. Oh, Kleenex, but sometimes I use napkins. And it's a little rough on your nose. But anyway, you had to have all kinds of supplies and stuff. So we want you to be prepared to make sure that you have everything that you need. So I do have a question for you. This whole month we're talking about help. Okay, don't do that. Like, you don't want to just yell that, because then all of a sudden people might come running or yelling or anything and saying, what do you need? Well, how many of you have ever done that? Have you asked for help and someone has come and helped you? But I want to ask you this question. Have you needed help this week? Have you needed help this month? Have you needed help today? And if so, what did you need help in and why? Okay, so I think some of you have admitted that you needed help today. Like me, I needed help. Like, I needed help with the dog. Like, how many of you needed help with your pet? I really did this morning. Oh, okay. And like this month, this week, we all need help. And what I want to talk to you about today is about someone in the Bible who really, they needed help. But this person, they've been talked about for thousands and thousands of years, and they're going to be talked about for years and years. They are one of the most influential, say that word again, influential. That means they have like a lot of importance and they really did a lot. Influential. Yeah, you know what I mean. But they are one of the most influential, one of the most important key. Okay, I'll keep going. But they're really important in that. And so here's what I want you to know. There's so much to the story. I mean, like, from when he was born to where he lived to things that happened. Like, we would be going on and on and on. But what I want to talk to you about is a part in his life to where there was really a time that he needed some help. And who I'm talking about? Well, his name is Moses. And he's actually in the book of Exodus in the Bible. Now, if you don't know, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so it's in the Bible. And I know nowadays we have like the Bible app and we can pull things up. But if you look in your Bible, see, the Bible is made up of two parts. You have the Old Testament and you have the New Testament. And the Bible has 66 books in it. And I am going not to the first book, but to the second book. And it's called Exodus. And in Exodus, that's where I want to go. And I want to talk to you about Moses. And I'm going to read to you from Exodus 4. So if you look in your Bible, you go to Exodus chapter 4. And if you haven't done that before, it's really easy. And if you need a Bible and you're at one of our locations, shout out to Ottawa, Kansas City, Kansas, Olathe, you let us know. We want to make sure that you have a Bible, because it's the best thing that you can have. And it's where you can learn all kinds of information, the best information for your life. But here's what happened. Moses was in a place, and God actually spoke to him and said, Moses, here's what I want you to do. I want you to set my people free. I want you to go here. I want you to do this, and I want you to do that. Now, how many of you, if all of a sudden God spoke to you and told you to do something, you probably would do it? Like, if my mom and dad tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it. And especially if God spoke to Moses, you'd think he would do it. Well, here's the thing. Moses, he thought he was weak. Moses thought that he couldn't do it. Now, I'm gonna hit pause right there. How many of you think that maybe there's some areas that you're weak? Maybe that you're not able to do certain things. Maybe you're not able to do certain things that you feel like, God has asked you to do. maybe things that feel in your spirit that you feel like you want to do, but maybe you feel like, well, I'm not tall enough, or I don't speak well enough, or I don't know how they think I look, or look at where I live, and well, compared to them and how much money we have, and I don't know if we'd be able to have that. We all have so many different things that come up in our life that we really think of a weakness. Well, Moses, even after he had God speak to him and say, who am I that I should be able to do this? Well, God was able to speak to Moses. God was able to tell Moses some things. So before I move any further, what are some things that you think are some weaknesses in your life? What are some things that you think that, well, maybe because of this or because of that, I'm not able to do something? Okay, so I know that as we talked about different weaknesses and things in our life, I know that I would definitely have a lot of them that I could talk about. I've talked about where I've grown up. I think about maybe the way that I talked, maybe different things that I've had to deal with. Maybe I even have some physical things and some things I'm dealing with and I have to take some medicine for and different things like that. Are any of you like that? Well, here's what I want to talk to you about, especially in Moses. Moses, as I told you about, God told him that he was the guy. He was the one that was supposed to go do this. But yet in Exodus, remember that's in the Old Testament and it's the second book of the Bible. Exodus 4, 10 through 17. Listen to this. Moses asked God to send somebody else instead of himself. Remember, God personally talked to him? He said that, well, he was slow to speak. Yeah. And maybe he had a stutter, and he even thought he wasn't smart enough. Does that sound like any of you that maybe you thought it that way? I know that was me. But here's what I want you to know. God allowed Moses' brother Aaron to go with Moses and speak with him. See, he spoke for Moses. See, Moses had a weakness, but yet God was able to help him in his weakness. And that's just like I want you to remember our memory verse. Our help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And when I think about our help, and I think about it coming from the maker of heaven and earth, if he's the maker of heaven and earth, well, he can help us. And just like how Moses was helped, and how Moses had some things that, well, he didn't think he was able to do this. But God was able to provide Aaron to help speak for him. And see, it didn't matter that Moses thought he was full of weaknesses or even mistakes from the past. Remember, if you read his story, it's incredible how he started and everything else. God was still able to use him. Use him. Remember the guy that had all these different things? Maybe he thought he stuttered and he wasn't smart enough or different things like that, to save his people. So what are some ways that you could say that God has helped you? God has provided for you. The maker of heaven and earth has helped you when you feel like maybe you are too weak or not able to do what you've been asked to do. Hey, so as we've been talking about things, this is a really good reminder for me. This is as you can see, a really big thing. And it's actually called a log or a tree lift mover. And see, because it can lift them up and move them. And it's really big and thick. And you should see the wheels on this, but I can't lift it up. I need some help to help me. Hey, Steven! 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 Oh, hey, come here. Hey, guys, this is Steven. Hey, Steven, do me a favor. Help me. I want to show them how big this is and some of the wheels on it. So if you grab there, okay. I'll grab here. We'll get it. You ready? I'll see? Do you see how big? Oh, okay, let's put it there. Okay, good. All right. Whew. Hey, thank you, Steven.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, this is really heavy, and you can see that it's made to carry a lot of big things. But there was no way that I could lift this up. See, I'm too weak. But with Stephen's help, both of us were able to lift this up and to show you. Hey, thanks again, Stephen.
Yeah, no problem,
All right,
man.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
All right, hey, save me some Dr. Pepper and banana split.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I like that. Split. All right, so anyway, as you know, I needed help to lift this because, well, it was too heavy. But this is designed to help us move big things. How many of you have seen those big inflatables? You've been on those slides and that? Well, they are super heavy. They weigh hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And that's what this is used for. Do you know that if I use this, I can move one of those things that there's no way I can pick up by myself? Well, why? It's because I'm able to use this. This helps me in my time of weakness. And it reminds me about how God helps us when we are weak. It reminds me of what we talked about with Moses, about how Moses, even though he was called by God, said, well, I can't speak, and maybe I'm not the smart enough. And he came up with all these excuses and talked about the weakness in his life. But how God provided for him in his weakness with his brother Aaron. And he was able to free his people and do so many different things. And I want you to know that as we have weaknesses, as I have weaknesses, that we can trust in God. Remember our memory verse. Our help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. So as you think about some things that are going on in your life, you think of some things that maybe you might consider a weakness, remember that just like this can help us move big, giant, heavy things, that our help comes from the Lord and how he can help us in things that we consider big, giant, heavy things. I'm thankful that I can lean on him. I'm thankful that my help comes from the Lord because without him, I know there's no way I can overcome the big, heavy things in my life. So remember, if there's things in your life, stop and take a moment. And you can ask God. You can simply say, dear God, I ask for your help because I know that I am weak. There's areas that I just can't carry these big, heavy things. And so I give them to you. I thank you that you are our help. I thank you that you are the maker of heaven and earth. You made me. We have a purpose, for we are God's workmanship. We were created by you. And I thank you that you are my help in time of need. If you can remember that, remember that God can help us in our weaknesses.